Welcome to the Fortean Slip. This is episode 55. I turned my Volkswagen Beetle into a levitating flying machine or something. Yeah, I know, that sucks.
That's a sucky attempt right there.
It does kind of go with what we're talking about, but...
Sort of.
Yeah. It's going to have to be another night I come up with a better title. I did last time, I think, because we didn't have one last time.
Oh, yeah, last
time it was sucked. We just...
Yeah, sweet title, though. Whatever it was.
Yeah, I don't know what I did.
I don't remember.
Tonight we're going to talk about self-proclaimed... I'm fucking Steve tonight. Jesus.
You better not. You're not... No, you're not fucking me tonight.
No.
Did I misinterpret?
Yes. Tonight we're going to talk about self-proclaimed Russian scientist Viktor Grebennikov.
Grebennikov.
Yes, at some point.
Okay. Hey, before we start,
yeah,
to all our loyal listeners out there, one of them suggested that I get a spam T-shirt and wear it proudly. So if folks want to check my Facebook page, I think it's facebook.com/slicktoys, SLIKTOYS. You can see the picture of me in my new shiny spam T-shirt.
Yeah, just a spam-eating motherfucker.
Here's the thing about this shirt, though. It is, as far as I can tell, the only officially licensed spam T-shirt, and it was made in 1995. So I got it off of eBay.
Well, aren't you just fucking the cat's ass?
I am.
And I mean,
no, I'm
fucking
not.
The cat's ass.
No, I don't do anything. Nothing. Not even, no.
No, not even a little bit?
No, never even crossed my mind.
Yeah, and tomorrow I'll be starting the Daily Dose.
The Daily Dose.
Yep. I'm going to talk about bionics tomorrow. I don't know if you had heard, but Mark Wahlberg got attached to the new Bionic Man movie.
There's a new Bionic Man movie?
They are redoing the Steve Austin
$1
million. Well, you know, it can't be like the $1 Million Man now, because at this point it's going to be like the $6 trillion fucking man.
Well, it was the $6 million man.
Right.
I mean,
so I don't know what they're going to do. I do like Mark Wahlberg, so, but in some stuff, like in fucking God, The Departed, Martin Scorsese's flick there, he was fucking great. And then you get some of these other films and I'm like, fucking, why?
we're talking about the actor Mark Wahlberg, not the Mark Wahlberg that
I'm talking about fucking
Antiques.
Marky Mark. Feel it.
Well, you know, there's another Mark Wahlberg. He hosts the Antiques Roadshow on PBS.
Yeah, no,
I don't
I'm not
think it's
talking
the same
about
guy,
that
but...
guy. No, but yeah, I'm gonna do bionics for the maiden voyage.
Good. That sounds awesome.
That'll be tomorrow. I'm hoping to record it in the morning, so it should be available during the day.
Awesomeness, man.
Yeah. Anything else going on with you?
Branching out. No, I started doing my cryptid of the weeks again. So this week is the
last time you said you were all in.
I know, but this time I'm all in because you made me watch this silly documentary on YouTube stuff, and it kind of gave me some inspiration, and now I'm all in.
Yeah, it's we're in an interesting time, I think, with media, social media, and what people watch and what people listen to. And I had checked out that, of course we do this, and we've been doing this for over a year now.
Damn.
And so I saw this documentary on Netflix called Please Subscribe, and it was about YouTubers, just people who make a living off YouTube. And
That's pretty cool.
It was really interesting to see what people will watch, what people will subscribe to. It is a bold new fucking world.
Yeah, it is. I think, and we had this discussion before the show, in the future, people, they're not, I don't think a lot of people even watch over-the-air TV anymore. Most of it is coming from Hulu and Netflix. That's what I watch, and YouTube. That's it. So I think it's the wave of the future. And I realize it's been around for a while, but I think right now it's, still kind of the ground floor on that shit. So,
well, it's still growing.
Right.
I mean,
And
I've been watching Netflix on. I started watching it on my Blu-ray player, and then it was my Xbox and computer. So, I mean, I've been watching Netflix for a while now, streaming, and it's just been getting bigger and bigger and better as it's gone.
I remember when I first heard of Netflix. That's back when they were selling. You had to order a DVD or something through the
Right,
mail and shit.
you could get two, you could get one or two, I think up to three.
Yeah, I thought to myself, who the fuck would really want to do that? I mean, you got a local video store. Well, now in my town anyway, the local video stores are gone. They don't exist anymore.
Right.
There's one, and it's because everything can be streamed online now.
Yeah,
and if you can't find it on Netflix or Hulu, you can find it if you look hard enough,
And the only places that are doing well selling DVDs nowadays are the places who resell them.
Well, here's the thing. Yesterday we were looking for a specific DVD for Christmas. We wanted It's a Wonderful Life because, it's a classic. Everybody likes that. And they wanted $10 for it at this used DVD store. And I said, well, it's public domain. It's a Wonderful Life is a public domain movie. The music in it isn't, but the video, so I downloaded it. Why spend $10 on it? Well, that's what is going to happen in the future is people aren't going to want to go physically pay for a movie when even if you had to pay for it online, you're still going to pay like $1.99 as opposed to a physical disc, which is going to cost you $10, $15, $20,
Yeah, but I mean, hey, if I had the choice of sitting here at my fucking house and watching, let's say, The fucking Hobbit when that comes out in December, okay? If I had the choice of sitting here at my house and being able to pause the fucking thing and watch it and paying a little more money rather than going to the theater, in a lot of cases I'm going to. That's a shit example because The Hobbit I would go see on IMAX.
Right.
But
a lot of movies, the theaters aren't going to close. A lot of them have closed down because of Netflix and that stuff. However, certain movies have to be seen in the theater. Like what's that one? You went and seen Godzilla in the theater, right?
Yeah, Godzilla was amazing.
You got to
on
see
IMAX.
something like that in the theater if you really want to experience it. But if you want to watch it again, you're gonna watch it on the internet. So, and you're probably not going to buy the DVD anymore.
Yeah, I mean everything's going digital now.
So, where that pertains to YouTube is anybody can get on YouTube. Anybody can upload videos. I do these silly Cryptid of the Week things, and I've had one that's had damn near 30, 40, 50,000 views, And why? Because people want to see that stuff, and it's different. It's an alternative to what you're used to seeing. So right. YouTube is a great tool, to get your name out there if that's what you really want to do.
Well, it's also a great tool for people who want to see things that they normally aren't going to see on regular broadcast television. Or
absolutely,
it it's a great place to look for things. I mean, for instance, I was doing a 3D puzzle with my son, of a skull a little while back, and th- I'm not like, I mean, hey, I'm a fairly intelligent guy, but I've got one day a week with my kids, and I'm not going to sit there and spend a whole day trying to figure out how to put this fucking thing together. I went on YouTube.
Right.
I found
Absolutely.
I found a video, and it just showed the layout of the pieces and how to put it together, and I just laid them out and put it together.
Well, I have an example just from today. I was putting together the intro to my video, my Cryptid of the Week video, and I wanted the car to move across the screen. It's a static picture. I didn't know how to do it. So what did I do? I looked on YouTube, and there was this little puke guy. I mean, the guy, he was annoying as all hell, his voice. But I learned. I learned from him how to do this, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh god,
Puke.
I've had so many people tell me, "Hey, you want to know how to do that? Look it up on YouTube."
Right. You can find just about anything on YouTube. I mean, there's still things that probably aren't on there, but if you're looking for a tutorial on how to do
My
just
fucking
about
father
anything,
created a goddamn hydrogen gas generator from YouTube.
right.
You know, that's the type of shit that you can do.
Well,
Watching
you
shit
know,
on
I'm into
YouTube.
Volkswagens. Everything I need to know about a Volkswagen, I can find on YouTube. Everything. There's not a thing on there that I haven't been able to find yet. I could tear the engine apart, put it back together because of watching YouTube. Well, that's just goes to show you the power of that platform, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
And, but there's also fun things, silly things like our show, you know,
Yeah,
that you can find on YouTube. So,
and that's one thing. One of the reasons why I think that I went here first for it with the show, because it's an easy way for me to, I don't have to worry about, like, if I made this into a podcast, and a lot of people have asked about that. How can I get this as a podcast? And I'd love to be able to have it as an RSS feed, and through, I think, SoundCloud you can to a certain degree, but you can't get unlimited, and you have to pay for it, and then I have to get it
right.
all set up through iTunes, and everything's right here. In the future, yes, I'd like to get something set up, but without paying for it, it's really hard to get that type of thing out there in the way that you want.
And if you're a cheap bastard like me, YouTube is the way to go because it doesn't cost anybody anything. The only people that YouTube costs anything is YouTube itself to pay their employees, obviously, and the advertisers. So anybody can watch my video without having to pay for it. Anybody can listen to the show without having to pay for it. Back in the old days, it may not have been that way. You might have charged a membership fee for, your blog or whatever. But now you don't have to do that because of advertiser support. And yeah, people don't like watching the ads at the beginning of the videos sometimes, but that's how it works,
Think about but
So,
I say think about it this way. If you're watching TV, you're gonna see a shit ton more ads.
right.
Like it's amazing how inundated you get with advertisements. So, but
And
yeah,
it's become part of the platform, part of YouTube. If there weren't any ads, YouTube wouldn't be what it is. It wouldn't remain free. And so you kind of have to take that with it. So almost every video you watch nowadays has an ad on it. Not all of them. I mean, I have videos on my channel that aren't advertised, don't have any advertisement on it. Some of the movies that I've uploaded and things like that, because they have matched third-party content or something, and I can't. But for the most part, everything on YouTube has an advertisement. So that's how it works, and it's a good thing in a way, because people like me and you can make a couple extra cents off of our videos.
right.
We're not making a living off of YouTube.
Not by any stretch of the
Not even
imagination.
close.
But
we make a few dollars here and there, and it kind of helps us to continue doing what we do. So,
right, and I mean, if people click on the ads, that helps. If people thumb up the video, that helps. If you subscribe,
right.
that helps. All those things help the channel. If you like what we do, hit the fucking buttons. you know. And I'm of the school. If you don't like what we do, hit the fucking thumbs down. You know, if you need to feel better about yourself and leave a shitty comment, have at. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. I've had shitty comments.
Yeah,
you know,
I kind of enjoy them. You know,
but
because most of the time they're ignorant sons of bitches who have no clue, probably didn't even watch the show or listen to the show, and you know.
Yeah, they're just
so it's fun to fuck with them.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun with it usually, but it's definitely been a learning experience doing the whole thing, and I mean, like we were talking about, that documentary it's pretty eye opening to see what people are watching. And
yeah, some of that shit was pretty. I mean, I'm not going to give away the documentary, but some of that shit, you know.
All I got to say is my drunk fucking kitchen, okay? My drunk kitchen. Yeah. You know, and if anybody wants to go take a look at it, it's on fucking YouTube. This chick gets drunk and cooks in her kitchen. And it all started because she was away from home and a friend of hers said, "Hey, you remember when you used to get drunk and cook in your kitchen?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'll videotape myself and send it to you." And boom.
And she put it on YouTube, and the rest is history. People liked it, and now she's
huge.
Gets drunk all the time on purpose just to make the videos.
To make videos on YouTube.
I, for one, won't be subscribing to her channel, but...
hey, that's all I got to say. But, you know, on to our topic of the evening, Steve.
Oh, we have a topic?
Yeah. Now we've rambled on about bullshit enough.
Okay.
And this and this topic isn't very big by any stretch of the imagination.
I think it will be.
I don't know, but my father had showed me this a long time ago, and there's like no conclusive thing saying anything about this. And I can imagine that if his claims were real or true, for that matter, that we'd know something about it at this point. But it was one of those things that, you know, I kind of like saw and I was like, this is kind of cool. You know, sort of like John Teeter, you know?
Right.
When I first got introduced to John Teeter, I was fucking all in. I was like, this is fucking cool. Like a buddy of mine brought me home the CD with the audio of the guy that has the John Teeter site on Coast to Coast. And I sat there one night and listened to that whole fucking thing, and I was all in. I fucking went to the website. I started reading the posts. You know, so when my father had introduced me to this, he's like, "Oh, you got to check this thing out. This guy claims to have created a levitation device, and, you know, it's just a platform, and he could stand on it, and he could, you know, create these anti-gravity fields with it." But
that's this Bergennikov or Grebennikov.
Yes, that
whatever
guy.
His name is.
Viktor Grebennikov.
Grebennikov, that's it.
And, you know, if you want to look him up, you'll find him real quick, I'm sure.
I didn't do my homework for the show this week.
Yeah.
I did the wrong homework, actually.
Yeah, well, I kind of misled you in a roundabout way.
But anyway, we won't talk
about that. But according to him, by examining the underside of insects, their body parts, and understanding how they flew, he was able to, from this, I don't know what you call it. It's like the underside of their wings was like this honeycomb-like thing, but not like quite like honeycomb, but and according to him, the way they vibrated it and the way they, you know, would move their wings, they didn't necessarily fly; they levitated.
Right. I've heard it said that, you know, certain animals like bees shouldn't be able to fly. They're
to the
not
laws
aerodynamic at all.
Right. According to the laws of physics, I do believe they shouldn't work. On paper, they don't work.
Right.
And that's interesting. But yeah, like I said, my father, and there's no like video, or there's one picture, and I put it up as the thumbnail for the video. I'll actually put it up during the show. I'll switch it over so that you guys can see a picture of the device, as it were. And in the picture, supposedly, there's one picture of the device on the ground with the shadow next to it, and then there's a picture of the device in the air with the shadow on the ground. So you make the call.
Well,
I
here's the
don't know.
thing. I mean, after we did the Boyd Bushman thing and looking into the anti-gravity stuff, it's very real. I mean, it may not be useful at this point in time, but they've been working on it since forever. I mean, Bushman's first patent was in the late 80s, and his second, the one I found, was definitely anti-gravity technology. And he had a patent on it, you know. So that sort of thing has been around, and they have been working on it for a very long time. Whether it's actually being put into use or not, you know, in real life, I don't know.
Well, according to Grebennikov, he was able to, by, you know, mimicking what these bugs did with their bodies, this pattern that they, you know, had in their wings or whatever, he was able to duplicate this on the bottom of this platform, and then he was able to levitate and fly all over the countryside. And according to him, according to him, he could go really extremely fast, and there was no, like, it didn't, you know, no like whiplash or anything like that, because the device created a, like, this vortex around itself that,
right,
you know, didn't, so it moved, but everything else was inside was normal.
Well, it's like when you're riding in a car. It's kind of the same concept.
Well, not necessarily, not really, because in a car you will feel the acceleration and the deceleration.
Right, you'll feel some of it. But
according
if you throw
to
a
him,
coin up in the air while you're riding, it doesn't go backwards.
But according to him, he didn't feel any of that, because he would go forward, go backward, you know. But
if you watch an insect fly,
yes.
If you watch an insect fly, they can make all sorts of maneuvers that should be impossible. Just like, you know, you hear about these UFOs that make these crazy ass maneuvers in the air and forward, backwards, complete stop, and then accelerate really fast. But if you watch insects do that, they do the same exact thing. You know, a lot of insects do. Even hummingbirds, you see a hummingbird, they can levitate or float, and then they just take off really super fast. And, well, so if you could mimic that in a technology, that would be something sweet, man.
That would be something else. And I find insects to be extremely interesting as, you know, creatures, the way they work together, the society, right. You know, it is rather... It's rather disheartening to know that if those fucking things were any bigger, we'd be fucked.
Damn straight we would.
We would be fucked. Ladies and gentlemen, we are outnumbered on this planet by insects. It isn't even fucking conceivable in figures. But if they were any bigger, we'd be fucked. All I think about that. Have you ever seen that movie Them? I think it's Them.
Of course I haven't.
I think it's an old black and white. I may be wrong on the movie. Someone will fucking pop it up in the comments every time we fucking bring up one of these. But I think it was called Them, and it was about a nuclear blast that turns ants into these huge fucking things, and they just take the fuck over. But yeah, that's what I'm reminded of every time I think of, you know, insects getting bigger, because ants are bad motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, I sat out behind the shop at work one day because, you know, I used to sneak out. I can't no more because we got a new supervisor. Sucks. But anyway, I used to sneak out, and well, there was these ants back there, and it's just fascinating to sit there and watch what they do. There's 200, 300, 400 ants, probably thousands really, but they all follow the same exact line. If there's an obstacle and the first ant goes around that obstacle, well, they leave the scent trail, So the second ant goes around it, every single one of them goes in. They don't waver. I mean, they work together, and it's really fascinating to watch. I mean, I sat there for 10 minutes one
I
day
say
just
I say
watching
to
the
people,
ants.
if you want to see something alien on this planet, watch some fucking insects for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those things to me are just, they are the most out of this world creatures. The range of them, and just, oh, it's fucking crazy. Those and arachnids, spiders are fucking crazy too.
Yeah.
But so anyway, back to Grebennikov and this platform. Supposedly, and I'm reading this off a wiki, so I don't even know if it's fucking right, but supposedly he was granted a Russian patent in 1993 on a device.
That would be easy enough to find out.
On a device containing beehive cells that is claimed to enhance the effectiveness of therapeutic drugs in a patient. I don't know. I don't know how. I'm just reading that off a wiki, but so if that's the case, he obviously he does have some things attached to his name.
Right.
But like I said, I don't know that I buy too much of it because he never had any like video proof. He claimed that he tried to get video while he was up in the thing, but the gravity field fucked up the camera. So
Well, it sounds legitimate, though. I mean, it sounds like, if there was a gravity field that you're creating, I'm assuming it would be some sort of electromagnetic field, not?
I don't. Hey, you got me, dude. Seriously,
Well, if
seriously,
that's
you
the
got me.
case, then electronic equipment isn't going to work correctly.
So
Now, how is the thing powered and all that? I don't
but
know. I mean, I
thing
didn't
my
look
thing
into
is,
it.
if that's the case, then why didn't we see anything else, or why haven't we seen anything about it since?
Well, because something like that would be classified, I'm guessing. Because if the government knew, what would they do with that kind of technology? They'd fight wars with it. So
Right, but
they always
my
get
thing is my thing is this, Steve. The information's out there. Like, I found this shit on YouTube. So if that's the case, then I'm sure there's some fucking whack job somewhere who's like, "Hey, I'll fucking try to mimic this thing," and there's
Right.
enough people in the world that I'm sure that if this thing was real, that we would have seen some type of reproduction of it.
We may have. We just don't know it yet. No, here's the thing. I have a news story tonight, and it'll get into kind of that sort of a thing. But perhaps some of these UFO sightings and things like that are the technology that this Grebennikov or Boyd Bushman or whoever was working on. It's possible.
Yeah, it's some pretty crazy shit. I mean, and like I said, I'm all in with insects. Insects are the coolest fucking things on the planet as far as creatures.
If you could mimic what they do on a large scale, like the size of an airplane or whatever, my God.
I remember being in elementary school and reading an article, I think it was in like a science magazine, that they were trying to develop a plane that had wings like a dragonfly, because dragonflies are so able to fly into the wind, and they're able to stabilize themselves amazingly in the wind.
Oh, dragonflies are the coolest things to watch.
Yeah, they're just fucking wild. But, obviously there is a lot to be learned from them. I mean, look at where nanotechnology, not so much nanotechnology, but this microtechnology that we're creating to create robots. They've been creating, the first thing they're trying to create really is insects.
Right.
And that's pretty fucking amazing, because insects are basically these little programmed robots that are born, which is
That's basically what they are.
pretty fucking interesting, because they're just set to a instinct. They do their thing, and
Ants, for example, have one purpose. Each ant has one purpose in life, and that's all they do. One's a queen, and The other ones,
the other ones are workers, and the other ones are nurses, and
whatever.
It's
right. They have one purpose all their life. That's what they do, and yeah. So it's pretty cool.
But so I don't know if I'm in with the Viktor Grebennikov stuff. I think it's like I said, it's one of those stories where when I heard about it, when I see it, like I was telling you before, it's like John Teeter. I see it and I'm like, oh, this is fucking cool, and then you start getting into it and you're like, yeah, but if this was
Teeter's story can be torn apart. I mean, pretty easily. All he ever had to do was blame it on the divergence.
Right, but I go to Teeter because it was, it was one of those things that
it's a cool fucking story. It'd make a great movie and stuff like that.
Right.
But I don't believe that Teeter actually was anything more than some internet troll, basically.
Right. So, but, levitation, I definitely think that, levitation, anti-gravity is being worked on. I think it's a definite possibility. But as far as Grebennikov, I don't know.
I didn't get a chance to look into Grebennikov, for example, but I started really digging on the other claims of anti-gravity and stuff, and it's definitely being worked on. Probably a lot of it's in still a top secret stage, for the government, but it's definitely being worked on. I mean, it's been in since the 80s, at least, and probably earlier than that, because we've always known that if you could make anti-gravity technology, or the type that whatever the fuck his name is, was working on, then that's like the biggest advancement you can make in transportation and war and all that kind of stuff,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I guarantee Lockheed Martin has patents on, I've seen the patent on one of them, one anti-gravity thing, and it could be used for more than that too. That was the coolest thing, because it could be used to levitate things. It could be used to shoot a directional magnetic beam to disable computers. It could be used for a whole slew of different things, and it's been around since the 90s, that particular invention.
Right.
Now, does it work? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because my haven't seen it in the public.
My father told me something once a long time ago. He'd said that there's nothing new under the sun. Because I was always like, you gotta check out this new thing. And I can't remember what it was, but he had he pulled out a popular science magazine from I can't remember what year, and showed me something that was literally, imagined years and years and years before, just to prove to me, listen, this thing that you think is new, it's not a new idea, and it's something his father had instilled in him. That,
I could tell you, we were going to talk a little bit about Tesla tonight, and you decided against it, but he was working on wireless technology back in the early 1900s. He had that idea.
Well, I see, and the reason why I trash the Tesla idea is because I think Tesla needs a whole fucking show.
Yeah.
But
what I'm saying, with your thing, nothing new under the sun. Well, his ideas were well advanced for his time, and so I'm sure with even this Grebennikov guy, it's advanced. We can't imagine that this sort of thing is possible, but it probably is.
Right, I'm not saying that it's not possible. I just don't know that his method was the way to go, or if his method worked. According to him, it did.
Okay, let's assume that you and I came up with a brand new technology. Let's say we could levitate things. And let's assume for a moment that the government got wind that we made this new technology. What do you think would happen? You think they would shut us up and make us, work on it, but under wraps? Or do you think we could go public with that sort of thing?
To be honest with you, I don't know.
Me either.
I have no idea. I'm not in that world.
I'm not either.
And I don't know that I'd want to be.
Conspiracy theories? No, I don't like conspiracy theories of that nature, that the government, hiding all this technology from us. But they are.
Yeah, they they do hide some shit.
Because they have to, sometimes. But they want it first. The internet was around in the 60s. And when did we get it? The first guy I knew with internet, I went to college in 1990, and that was the first person I ever met. Was one of my dorm mates. He had the internet.
I can remember back in the 80s.
We had
the old Commodore the old Commodore 64s used to have a chat program. Like you could go on message boards and stuff like that. And you had to you had to put the fucking phone into this, like, the receiver.
Right.
Into this little cradle.
It was the early stages of the internet.
Yeah.
But we as a public had just gotten that technology 20, 30, 40 years later, And that's because this sort of technology, the levitation and the anti-gravity thing, is, I don't know what you want to call it, but it's like groundbreaking stuff. And the internet was at the time too. So now it's everyday common knowledge, But back then, so I don't know. I have a feeling that at least the theory behind what what the fuck ever his name is doing or did or wanted to do, at least the theory is probably solid.
Yeah, I like I said, I don't know. I think it's pretty interesting. I checked out a couple of videos on it. Some people talking about the work, and what insects are capable of, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm just a dumb motherfucker. I'm a fairly intelligent guy, but I can't sit there and say for sure about anything when it comes to this. All I know is that it's pretty interesting. I'm one of those people where I like an interesting story, and then I like to look into it a little bit. But I'm skeptical about it just because I think where the information is out there on YouTube, what he was looking at, what he was developing, and how he got to his, conclusions. Somebody, right, I think would have replicated this by now.
And maybe they have, and we just don't know.
Yeah, but I think somebody, like some fucking dumbass on YouTube, gets drunk one day and said,
I think they have, because I watched this documentary one time, and there was this thing, it was called a hoverboard. Back to the something.
Yeah, no.
So I think it's probably been done.
Supposedly they've.
But that's
working on those.
Again, nothing new, right? And I heard something about them coming out. I mean, it's almost a reality if it's not already.
Yeah. It's some pretty amazing shit.
Is it the same technology? I don't know.
And we will, we're in an interesting time just because how information is passed around, and researchers can collaborate in real time from across the world. It's pretty amazing shit. That
when did Grebennikov actually do this? When did he claim that this was recently? Was this 90s, 80s?
It doesn't say on this here. He lived from 1927 to 2001. So
it would have probably been 80s, 90s.
Yeah, the picture that will be up during the show, which will be up by now. Anyway, it's in black and white, and it looks like an older photo. So I'd say maybe earlier than that.
Okay.
But okay. I didn't do a shit ton of research. Like I said, hey, I watched a few videos. I did a little bit of reading, and hey, Viktor Grebennikov. Ta-da!
Hey, yeah, but I think it's a great subject because I think that technology does probably, at least in the early stages, exist because, like let's say, for example, airplanes. Well, what did they try to mimic with an airplane? They tried to mimic a bird. And it took years and years and years and years before the Wright brothers finally got it, and some others at that time. Now, that technology was immediately available to the public, but nowadays that doesn't happen that way. So I'm guessing that it exists somewhere, at least in the early stages.
Yeah, I think it's
because you're going to you go to nature to find out what to do a lot of the times, and that's what the Wright brothers did. That's what all the early airplane pioneers did, you know?
I think you're going to see a lot of interesting, like, little personal drones that are going to come out in the next,
Right.
10, 20 years. It's just going to get more and more interesting as technology advances. Everything gets smaller. Things are going down to the
This sort of thing
quantum level.
exists, if this sort of thing exists on the level that Grebennikov said it did at that time, well, think of how much more advanced that would be today.
Right, exactly.
And like I said, that could account for countless UFO type sightings and things like that. I mean, if we already have the technology to move like a butterfly or a bee or a whatever, if we have that technology on a large scale like that, I mean, think about it. I mean, that's some amazing shit.
It'd be some pretty crazy shit. I'm down. Let's do it. Let's fucking make it happen.
Okay, I want to fly on one of these things.
Who wouldn't?
I can't think of a person who wouldn't. If you had the chance to go aboard a UFO, whether it's hours or from light years away, man, who wouldn't do it? Well, unless they're going to anally probe you.
I don't think you'd have much
probably
choice in
wouldn't
the
take
matter
it.
then.
Yeah.
It'd be like, get in the fucking ship, human. Have I got something for you? I'm always taken back to that. I'm always taken back to that Kids in the Hall episode where the aliens are like, we've been coming down here for years and probing the anuses of humans, and what we found out is that a small percentage of them like it.
I, for one, have never been anally probed, either by human or alien, and I don't want to know if I like it. God, I hope I do. No, I don't even want to think about it. So, there. I've said it.
Rookie.
Yeah, and that's the way it's going to stay.
Don't you have some news?
Yes, I do. I found this story tonight, Chris, and it was kind of had to do with what we actually talked about tonight, so I thought it was fit right in.
Ties right
This is
in.
from...
Nice little
Ties right
bow.
Nice little bow. Like a Christmassy green and red type thing.
Yeah.
From SouthMilwaukeeNow.com. A huge paper, I'm sure. What they're saying is most UFO sightings might be caused by an advanced anti-gravity military aircraft. And this is actually posted to military.com, a website for U.S. military members. Anti-gravity technology may be right around the corner. The aircraft displayed in their video, and you can see that video at military.com, is labeled the TR-3B. The aircraft is a triangle shape. It can move at incredible speeds, and it is difficult to be detected by radar. Sightings of this unit are increasing all around the globe, according to military.com. The unit is not official yet. It doesn't exist officially. It uses highly pressured mercury accelerated by nuclear energy to produce a plasma that creates a field of anti-gravity around the ship. Conventional thrusters located on the tips of the craft allow it to perform all manner of rapid high-speed maneuvers along all three axes. Interestingly, the plasma generated also reduces radar signature significantly, so it's almost invisible on radar and remains undetected. This literally means that it can go to any country it likes without being detected by air traffic control and air defense systems. The triangle-shaped aircraft has been shrouded in conspiracy and made famous during the Phoenix Lights incident, in which over 700 people witnessed a boomerang-shaped object floating in the sky over Phoenix. Governor Fife Symington, I love that name, Fife Symington. Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
F-I-F-E, Fife. Requested information from the commander of Luke Air Force Base, the general of the National Guard, and head of the Arizona Department of Public Safety, but none of the officials he contacted had an answer. Frances Barwood, the 1997 Phoenix City Councilwoman who launched an investigation into the event, said that over 700 witnesses she interviewed, the government never interviewed even one, which may suggest that the United States military is responsible for these UFO sightings. So another rumored unit is the TR-6 Telos. In theory, the TR-6 Telos is designed for use as a
Spit it out.
Transatmospheric. I got it. Transatmospheric low observable reconnaissance platform with global.
Jesus Christ.
With global. I was doing so good. This is just a Replia story, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this thing has camouflage, electronic and visual camouflage. It is able to penetrate all currently known defense systems from transorbital height. The TR-6 utilizes 5 electrogravitic generators for propulsion. These are some big words tonight. But anyway, that one's just a rumor still. So, but the shape of the TR-6 is the boomerang shape that was so many UFO sightings have.
That triangular lights at the points shape that
like
most
the
people
Phoenix
see.
lights, and then all those ones that you had up there in your area.
Yeah.
So, has it been around for a while? Probably. Is it anti-gravity? Well, military.com seems to think so. So I'll agree with them. In our next story, we got some Yowies. Yeah. We got some Yowies from couriermail.com.
I got some Owies.
Yowies?
No, Owies.
No, this is about Yowies,
Oh.
the Sasquatch-like primate of sorts in Australia. Apparently, there's a fight over the Yowie sightings. Brisbane mates Jason Heal and Jason Dunn claim to have captured clear footage of a Bigfoot in a forest on the Gold Coast. But their videos have been dismissed by self-described Yowie researcher Dean Harrison, who has labeled the pair court jesters. Mr. Harrison, who runs the Australia Yowie research website, devoted to proving its existence, said the duo was not to be taken seriously by any researcher. But Mr. Dunn, a Brisbane cleaner, has...
Well, he's just a reputable source.
He's hit back saying Mr. Harrison and his followers were jealous of the new evidence they were amassing. I think they're intimidated by us because we are the only ones getting footage. They can't get stuff like we've got, said Mr. Dunn. If they have been doing it for 20 to 25 years, you'd think they'd have videos and images. We'll show them what's really out there. Yowie sightings are said to date back to the early European settlement of Aboriginal folklore. Just last week, a Port Douglas man reported a run-in with an ape-like creature, while Jimpy Man. What the hell is a Jimpy Man? Tony Duffy. It says Jimpy, G-Y-M-P-I-E. Jimpy Man. I like that. I'm going to have to use it. Tony Duffy recently recounted a 2-hour conversation he had with a Yowie while camping. He had a conversation with a Yowie. The two Jasons have devoted the last 3 years to the fringe field of cryptozoology, the study of unknown animals.
I hang out in the woods. Yeah. Knock on trees. Make fucking weird noises.
They said,
these
guys say no story should be discounted. In other words, you should believe everything.
I've been looking for
every weekend they hide cameras in forests and pine plantations. Are you still talking to your Yowie friend? They hide cameras in forests and pine plantations and attempt to lure the so-called Yowies with fruit. They claim to have numerous videos taken this year showing unexplained creatures in action. brushing the cameras and jumping out of trees. But the clearest, they say, is a recent video of a tall, hairy, humanoid creature caught on night camera in a secret location in the Gold Coast hinterland. I think their organization, Chris, is called J&J Yowie Search.
I don't know.
And some people think they're hoaxers. I think they sound like the Rick Dyer of the Australian Yowie researchers. And here's some good news, Chris. Finally, some good news on this show. This one's from the Huffington Post. Our old friends at the Ku Klux Klan. Jesus. I always say that wrong. I always say it wrong. Ku Klux Klan or something I say, but it's Ku Klux Klan. Anyway, they're now opening their doors to black people, Jews, and even gays.
Yeah,
right. Despite this, I'm just reading the story, and that's what it says. Despite being better known for burning crosses on lawns and lynchings and horrific racism, the group is now opening its doors to Jews, black people, and gays. The rebranded organization called the Rocky Mountain Knights claims to now stand for a strong America rather than irrational hatred. They also claim they will not discriminate against people because of race, religion, or sexual orientation. The move comes after John Abar, a KKK organizer from Great Falls,
our
Montana.
numbers are down, Maynard. I think we should let the black people in.
Anyway, yeah, this guy allegedly met with the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, or the NAACP, or the NCAAP. Is that how that's said? Met for discussions last year. Abar said, "I thought it was a really good organization.
What do you think about letting the butt fuckers in, Maynard?" Jesus Christ. I can't imagine the fucking Ku Klux Klan fucking being at all tolerant.
You think they'd put this story on the internet if it wasn't true? Anyway, many have questioned the motives of Abar, claiming that he is only trying to further his own career, especially current KKK members. Bradley Jenkins, Imperial Wizard of the KKK, said,
Maynard, what if we have the Jewish people work on our money problem?
Anyway, Bradley Jenkins, the Imperial Wizard of the KKK, said, that man's going against everything the bylaws of the Constitution of the KKK say. He's trying to hide behind the KKK to further his political career. The requirements for prospective Klansmen are that you are 18 and live in the Pacific Northwest. What? That's what it says.
Maynard,
so you got to be like a...
Maynard, since we're letting the gays in, why don't I just jack you off?
Well, you'll be happy to know that members will still wear their notorious white robes and take part in a load of weird rituals, and they will still adopt a strong suspicion
man-on-man sex.
Can you imagine if that story's really true? Come on.
I'd call such bullshit. The fucking Ku Klux Klan is not tolerant. Ever.
Well, apparently they are, because, Jews, black people, and gays are now allowed in.
I don't buy it.
And I think it'll make for a better, stronger America.
Yeah.
I'm not joining, though.
Yeah.
And it's the NAACP, not the NCAAP. I was wrong.
I wasn't listening.
National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. That's the news, Chris.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
I could come up with some more. I wanted to read the masturbatory rage story, but I've lost it somewhere.
Oh, that kid went on a fucking hoot of a fucking adventure. Just
he was
fucking taking Molly and stuff. Fucking amphetamine.
What is Molly?
Molly is, I don't even know. It's like ecstasy and fucking all kinds of other shit. I don't know exactly what Molly is. Fucking, it's chemicals.
Apparently, when you mix it with cocaine and whatever else he was taking, it makes you masturbate a lot.
Well, here's the thing. I'll let y'all in on a little secret. Used to have a nice little drug addiction.
No.
Oh yeah, no. My drug of choice back in the day was mostly painkillers, but I would enjoy a good amphetamine every once in a while, which will pick you up. Yeah, those will make you sit there and stroke your cock for a long time. Like, I can remember. This is fucking so embarrassing.
Wait a second.
I can
Did
remember.
You just say what I think
I
you
can
said on the
remember
air?
fucking nights just sitting there in front of the fucking computer,
My family can't listen to
just
this show anymore.
edging my fucking cock to the point of fucking coming, and then not.
Yeah.
Like, because I was the fucking drug, like, fucking, it drives you. It's weird. But it fucking makes you do
I can tell you
wacky
one
shit.
thing, Chris. I don't need a drug to do that. Well, I don't need a drug anymore to do anything. But at one time, when I was single and everything, I didn't need a drug to go into.
No, trust me, that drug would fucking make you, like, go further than you've ever gone in a masturbatory rage.
I think we need to end the show now. Oh God, I hope people don't listen all the way.
This has been episode 55 of the Fortean Slip. I have no fucking idea what to call it. The disaster episode.
Anti-gravity will make you masturbate. Show.
The anti-gravity masturbatory rage show.
I like it.
Like the video, subscribe, say something nice.
Like this one.
Yeah. Yes, I did just say, Steve, that I fucking took amphetamines and edged for hours watching porn.
I think we've reached a new low. I didn't think it was possible.